Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a 5'7" running back that knows how to get through the gap and get into the end zone from the San Jose State Spartans, Floyd Chalk. What's going on, man?
What's going on? How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Beyond happy to have you on. It's been a busy week for me so far with interviews, and definitely excited to find time to talk about this past season for you and San Jose State. You yourself, you've had a great career so far, making a name for yourself at that running back spot. And I want to talk real quick about your career in a segment that I like to call Rewind and Recap. I just rewind the clock, talk real quick about your career, and we're going to start off when you were at the FCS level with Grambling State for 2 years. Got to start off your collegiate career, make a name for yourself at that running back spot, like I said. Then this past season, you transferred to San Jose State in the Mountain West Conference, very tough conference. And people took notice of your name. You were actually named preseason Mountain West offense to those teams, got that recognition, and you helped lead San Jose State to be bowl eligible in 2024 this past year, playing in that Hawaii Bowl against USF. That went into five overtimes. Absolutely incredible what you guys were able to do this past year. And I know a lot of players, there's that difference between the FCS and FBS level. There's talent at both levels, but when you're at FBS,
Right.
obviously you have different level of resources, funding. The players are usually, while still very talented, like at
Mhm.
FCS, just a lot bigger overall because of those resources that they have.
Right.
As a guy that went through that process, going from Grambling to San Jose State, what were some of the differences that you noticed that stuck out to you for the Spartans that really helped you and the program succeed?
A couple differences between Grambling and San Jose. The training room resources, like it's different. Like the treatment is different. It's better. It's more resources I could get in touch with, like to keep my body healthy. Uh, the linebackers are bigger, of course. Uh, it's a faster pace. Like guys are smarter a little bit, I would say. Like they know football more. Like they just know the game of football more. I believe that's what it really is to me.
Yeah, I mean, like you well know, FCS level, there's still a lot of talent that you're going against, and obviously
Yeah,
you were
for
one of those
sure.
talents developed over those 2 years at Grambling State. How would you say you really developed your game from the start of your collegiate career to now to this past season with San Jose State to where you were able to make such an impact for the Spartans in the 2024 season?
I feel like at Grambling State, it's just physical, like more physical than it is in the Mountain West. I don't know why. I just feel like it is for me. But yeah, I just feel like it's more physical.
Yeah, and you put up some good numbers at that running back spot for the Spartans this past season. 721 yards, 10 total touchdowns on 154 carries throughout the season, averaged basically 5 yards a carry when you got that ball for an offense that, in all reality, was very pass first oriented. You guys had a pair of really talented QBs, the arguably the best wide receiver in the country, in Nick Nash, consensus
Yeah,
first team All American. Absolutely incredible what he was able to do. So they
for
were
sure.
always looking to pass the ball primarily. So when you were able to get those touches at that running back spot, how would you say you capitalize on those opportunities to be able to make your name known and make an impact for your team?
Yeah, I just tell myself when I get it, I gotta do what I need to do with it, and capitalize on my opportunities with the ball. Um, it's just like how can I say this? Um, I don't know how to say it. Yeah, just capitalize on my opportunities with the ball and do what need to be done. Yeah,
Yeah, and to do what you need to do, you got to make some big plays. To put up the numbers that you did, you
for
got to be
sure.
able to. I mean, you found your way into the end zone 10 times on the season. Uh, did a great job, especially Mountain West, actually going against some very tough teams. And I went through your film, I went through YouTube, Twitter, wherever I could find, your highlights. And I came up with a list for a segment that I like to call Make That Play. It's pretty self-explanatory. It talks about some of your highlights. And while I have my top three right here, I do want to ask you, what's your top play from this past season?
One of them. This is not my top play, but it's one of them. Colorado State game when I had made something out of nothing, and like they got in the backfield, and I turned the corner and I bust for like 30 to the touchdown. I
Hey,
like that play.
there you go. I did see that. I had that on my list there, but it didn't make the top three. The top three that I had, number one, 66-yard touchdown against Washington State in the first quarter, where you just exploded out of the gates and took off. No one could catch you. You see the
Yeah.
defense backs trying to catch up, trying to take the angle, and they could not get you. You ended up going straight into the end zone for a huge touchdown for your team in a very tough game against Washington State. Number two, that wasn't your only touchdown against Washington State. You had another one later on to end the third quarter where you ended up breaking through not one, not two, but three tackles. You had two guys trying to get you at once, ended up going sideline, and another dude tried to get you. You just kind of shoved him off right into
Yeah.
the end zone, got another big time score for your team. And at number three, I have your second touchdown against Sacramento State. 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I ended up getting the ball at around the 30-yard mark, and
Yeah.
you ran, got through a couple tackles there as well, and you were very smart with how you were. You saw your wide receiver set in that perfect block, ran down the sideline, used that block to get right there into the end zone. So congratulations on
Appreciate
so
that.
many great plays and touchdowns throughout this season to help out your team. And you're a veteran in the collegiate ranks now at that running back spot. You know what it takes for a running back to do to help your team win.
For
How
sure.
would you describe to fans and people watching your games what you do at that running back spot to help your team win?
It's harder than what it looked and what it seemed. We gotta help the not help the O line, but like if it's something leaking, then we help the O line, like 300-pound lineman. We help him block 300-pound lineman. Um, it's like you gotta really read like defenses. Like it's like you can't sit back there and be dumbfounded to the game. Like you have to read your keys, and like they and defenses sends crazy blitzes. So like you gotta really know, like keep your eyes on your assignment and stuff like that, and yeah, make plays.
Yeah, there's a lot that you got to think about when you're at that running back spot. People don't realize that they just think, oh, you run up the middle. No,
Yeah,
there's a lot more that goes into it than
for
that.
sure.
You, as well as the rest of your offense and the defense, you guys as a team did a great job this season. 7-6 overall to be bowl eligible. Mountain West action, very tough conference. UNLV and Boise State, especially this season. Congratulations to them. Uh, you guys ended up going 3-4 in NW play. But you started off the season very strong, 3-0 to start the year before going back and forth the rest of the way under a first-year head coach in Ken. If I mispronounce his name, I apologize if he watches this. Neuma Telolo, uh,
Mm.
very good coach. He obviously did a great job with you guys throughout this season. How would you describe the 2024 campaign under a first-year head coach and Coach Ken doing what you guys did?
It was great. Coach Ken, he a great guy. He don't say as much, but he's a great guy. He's a great coach for sure. Me coming in not knowing Coach Ken, I'm thinking we can run the football, run heavy team. But I like where we're at. I feel as we'll be more balanced next season with the run and the pass game. But I feel like we had a great season. We had a great season. Dang. Yeah, we had a great season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's more than likely going to get more balanced with Nick Nash heading off to the NFL level. Obviously, when you have a receiver like that, you got to go to him, got to throw it to
Yeah,
him. He
for
has some
sure.
incredible catches. But obviously, you yourself, you've done a great job, and you've helped lead a running back room that does have some talented underclassmen. I know during the game, I believe it was Lamar Radcliffe. He had a
Hmm.
touchdown against USF. he was a freshman this past year, and then you have sophomore Jabari Bates, where they're both looking to take some steps up next year as well, get a few more touches. Obviously, learn from a running back like yourself. They have a good resource to learn the game and see what needs to be done in order to get more playing time. How are you being a leader in that running back room to help these younger guys at the running back position grow their game to take over for when you end up leaving for the pro ranks?
They both dogs. It's just like I'm not just the leader. Like we're all leaders. Like I'm not just gonna sit here and like lie to you. Like we're all leaders in our own way for sure. But uh I just really like we just try to do everything right. I try to keep us all do everything right, do everything right. So like we don't have so it can't fall back on the running backs. Like oh the running backs didn't do this, the running backs didn't do that. Like I just try to preach that, do everything right.
Yeah, and you guys obviously did your part throughout the season for a team that, like I said, bowl eligible, ended up going to that Hawaii Bowl, going against USF in a game that went into five overtimes. First time in the history of college football, a game went into five overtimes. And then your guys' record ended up being broken like 2 days later. Toledo and Pittsburgh went into seven overtimes. So they decided to one up you there. But how are you guys able to stay strong throughout that game? To go toe to toe with USF and force five overtimes to have one of the best games of the postseason in college football.
It was for sure a roller coaster, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it seemed like we were behind. Like in the overtime, it seemed like we were chasing them for a minute. But Matt Coleman, he stepped up and he did his job. And like he scored two touchdowns, I believe. And that's when we put them on offense first. And then yeah, they took it.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't go your way, but I mean to force them into five OTs, that obviously that speaks highly of your defense. That speaks
For
highly of you
sure.
guys on offense as well, doing what you guys do best. And obviously you yourself, very talented player for them, going to be back next season to where you can make a huge impact. And I love having big time guys on that put up big time numbers like yourself. And that's why I came up with a segment to get more people on that I like to call Who's Up Next. In this segment, you give me as many names as you want on guys that I should reach out to have on for this season and future seasons of the podcast. And there's only two rules. The first one of which, whoever you recommend, you got to help me get them on, got to help me reach out. And number two, you got to give me at least one name where they were not a part of San Jose State this past season.
Okay. Let me see. But I could say someone on San Jose, right?
You can say someone on San Jose State. You got to give me one name that's whether they're at pro on another school, somebody that wasn't with San
For
Jose State.
sure. Okay, let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna just say Matt Coleman. Matt Coleman, he's a guy. Uh, another team. It could be FCS, FBS. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
if they put up numbers, let's go.
it's a little guy, but he's a dog, a slot receiver. Javon Robinson, a slot receiver. I think he's going to Georgia State this upcoming season. He just hit the transfer portal. He's a dog. He's putting up big numbers as a slot receiver, and he's like 5. He's shorter than me. Yeah, he a dog. But him. Um, who else? Who else?
I'm gonna add in those two running backs because they're definitely next up.
Jabari Bates
Yeah.
and Radcliffe for sure.
Oh yeah, they've done a great job, obviously learning from yourself. So I mean, I'm definitely gonna be adding them to my list to keep an eye out for.
Gotta be. Um, yeah, Jabari Bates and Lamar Radcliffe. I think that's it.
Hey, those right there, those are some good names. Obviously, you have a lot of confidence in them, so I'm definitely going to be taking a look at their numbers, reaching out to them as well to have on the podcast throughout not just this season, but even the next couple of years as well. And that right there, that's who's up next. So now we got to talk about what's next for Floyd Chalk. What are you doing this offseason to really prepare for your senior year with San Jose State heading into next season to not just lead them to another bowl game, but to a win in a bowl game, maybe even the
Championship.
national playoffs?
I'm training different. I gotta do everything different because I did something wrong last season. So yeah, yeah, I'm doing hills. I'm running hills, stadiums, get my legs and knees stronger, my lungs stronger. Everything. I gotta come different this season.
Hey, definitely can't wait to see what you do this upcoming season. Hopefully, we see 1,000 yard campaign for Floyd Chalk in his senior year in 2025, and keep getting those double digit touchdowns, man. Get that from 10 to 15 to maybe even 20. Lead the country
For
in touchdowns.
sure.
So that's going to be cool to see, man. Beyond blessed to have you on for an interview.
I'm
I'm
blessed.
going to stay tuned with you, man. Going to have you on in future years, especially when you make it to the pros.
Yes, I appreciate you for having me.